Fantastic. Thank you so much
Have
for
a
today.
great weekend,
Ivory
everyone.
Johnson, Carlos
Bless you,
Reed.
man.
Everybody, God bless. Have a great weekend. The news at 6 is straight ahead.
And go to church.
Seems like
Go to
yesterday
church,
we
yeah.
rocked the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block of dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dream. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime. Good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, new Chief Justice. The country's Chief Justice officially sworn in today. Project update. Inner city residents learning specific details of the Over the Hill initiative. And paying tribute. The Progressive Liberal Party remembers the life of one of their own. The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The country's newest Chief Justice officially sworn in today. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Thanks for joining us. Senior Justice Stephen Isaacs was sworn in today as Chief Justice of the Bahamas by Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling in a brief ceremony at Government House. Government House's ballroom was filled with family and friends, including cabinet ministers, parliamentarians, members of the legal fraternity, and well-wishers of the new Chief Justice. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel, is pleased with the elevation of Justice Isaacs to the position of Chief Justice.
We are very, very proud of his achievements. We think that he is an excellent jurist, a man who has dealt with every manner of legal dispute and who has done so efficiently, effectively, fairly, and impartially. And we have every confidence that in the discharge of his office, he will attain the very highest standards to be expected of a Chief Justice of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The Chief Justice told reporters that he wants to see more efficiency within the legal system, but he also highlighted other concerns that he would like to see addressed.
Our immediate concern has always been that the judges are separated into, in this case, 4 buildings, but we're getting closer because they're all on bank land now, instead of scattered all in different locations. So that'll help us coordinate our efforts. Having a purpose-built judicial complex is still in the works. It's been in the works since I was registrar, and with any luck, we may see it before I retire.
Officials of the Over the Hill Community Development Partnership Initiative held a town meeting last night at Salem Union Baptist Church on Taylor Street to enlighten residents of the inner city of New Providence on the program and how it will benefit them. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis made a brief visit to the town meeting, and he made it clear that the program will impact the inner city to improve the quality of life for those residents.
You would have heard me spoken repeatedly about the Southern Recreation Ground, which would commence very shortly. And after the Southern Recreation Ground, the old St. John's or field or city market that we know on Market Street, we would put at least 3 government ministries there, which would help to improve the area also, and that would create jobs and opportunity.
Now to labor news first at 6. ZNS News has learned that the Bahamas Nurses Union strike poll taken on June 5th was declared null and void. A government-issued press release indicated that the Ministry of Labor had asked the press to hold that release once they made the initial announcement. Now, our news team spoke with the Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion Folks, by telephone today, and he said the nurses' union strike was declared null and void because of this alleged irregularity.
All the issues that we were back and forth with PHA, Department of Public Health, and Labor, all these concerns we lay before Prime Minister. We look forward in the Prime Minister, he made some commitments to us, and we look forward in seeing these commitments being established and carried out as promised. And so we wait to see the Prime Minister orders to take place. And we assure the members of the Bahamas Nurses Union that everything is in favor of the worker. The worker is what matters.
We apologize. That wasn't the Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion, folks. It was Nurses Union President Amantia Williams, who confirmed to us that union officials today met with Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis at the office of the Prime Minister in Cable Beach this morning. She described the meeting as productive and thanked the Prime Minister for listening to their concerns. She anticipates the Prime Minister's investigation into the outstanding matters affecting nurses nationwide. President Williams also indicated that another meeting with the Prime Minister is set for the end of this month. We can also tell you first at 6 that the Water and Sewerage Corporation issued a statement on reports that the corporation's Malcolm Park improvement is related to recent conch poisoning cases here in New Providence. Water and Sewerage Corporation officials maintained that before any construction began in Malcolm Park, preliminary work was conducted to ensure no contamination nor cross-contamination existed at or around the area. Water and Sewerage Corporation officials also ensured the prevention of debris, material, or waste from entering the sea, checked water consumption of 17 Potters Key dock vendors who were either not using city water or minimal water usage. They also strongly recommended to the Ministry of Health that they visit each vendor and inspect their operation. Environmental Health Services officials also advised the Water and Sewerage Corporation that in addition to Potters Key, environmental health officials have seen cases of conch poisoning at Arawak Key and as far away as the Lifer Key area. Also, environmental health officials confirmed they will resample for any viruses between Montague and Arawak Key. Still ahead tonight, Shantytown residents are still monitoring the date to leave the area they've called home. We're just getting started. First at 6. More right after this break.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
And after in overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Summer is here, and it's the time of year we love getting together with family and friends. And nothing shows your love more than one of KFC's new buckets. KFC's Bucket Love is all about our freshly prepared chicken, delicious sides, and hot buttery biscuits, starting at just $20. KFC, it's finger looking good.
For a moment, we have missed the mark or we have fallen short. But this generation of over the hill young people are bringing back the value and the principle on which their forefathers has taught them.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill project.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Today, August 10th, would have been the final date set for Shantytown residents to vacate their communities. However, a court injunction has put that demand on hold. Members of the Haitian Pastors League, we understand, are pleased with the extended time and feel residents who were not able to find suitable accommodations can now continue to search. The group is also applauding the government for its ongoing work with the Haitian community. To news from the Crime Beat, Mobile Division officers responded to a disturbance call on Young Close, that's off Market Street, around 7 o'clock yesterday morning, and spoke with a man who reported that he was attacked by 3 men, one armed with a firearm. He told officers he was able to disarm the gunman, and he and the others ran. He turned over to police a .380 pistol. A short time later, police arrested 3 men in connection with this matter. Then around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, South Central Division officers here in New Providence went to an abandoned building on St. Vincent Road and Emmanuel Way, where they recovered a 9mm pistol with 3 rounds of ammunition. No arrests was made in that matter. Police confirming that shortly after 10 o'clock last night, a group of persons were playing a board game in front of a home on Taylor Drive, that's off Victoria Boulevard in Bamboo Town, when a white vehicle drove up and the occupants opened fire in the direction of the group, injuring 2 of them before speeding away. Emergency personnel was called to the scene and attempted to revive the male victim, but was unsuccessful. He was later pronounced dead at the scene. The female victim was transported to hospital and is listed in stable condition tonight. An intense investigation into the homicide is underway. Well, police over in Eleuthera are investigating a drowning incident. Reports state that sometime after 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, an adult male was swimming on a beach near to Tarpon Bay when he was discovered lying motionless on the seabed. He was recovered from the water and taken to the Rock Sound Clinic, where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. Progressive Liberal Party supporters assembled to celebrate the life and legacy of former Senator Talita Strawn at the party's Farrington Road headquarters today. Strawn died at the age of 85. She served in the Senate from 1987 to 1992 and was a former president of the Straw Vendors Association. She's also the mother of former Minister of Social Services and Community Development, Melanie Griffin. Progressive Liberal Party leader Philip Davis says Strawn was a freedom fighter who touched the lives of many and embodied the traits of Bahamians that are becoming endangered.
She believed in the ideals of the Progressive Liberal Party, the party in which she served a lifespan. She was a proud descendant of Cat Island. And what they were imbued with the spirit of toil to ensure that her children and theirs had a better place in which to live. She's what I coined a generation caregiver, because she took care of generations to ensure that generations and generations will survive.
Member of Parliament for Englerston, Glenys Hannah Martin, remembers Strawn as a female warrior. She said the PLP is privileged to have benefited from her service.
She was amongst a small group of women leaders within this organization, and she was a valued contributor to the political struggle. She had the passion and the intellect which embodied the ethos of this party. The ideology was understood, and she knew what was required to win an election and to win hearts. For me, Talita Strawn was a small beacon of light, of the PLP in its rare essence. Her passion never subsided.
The Cabinet Office announced today that a state-recognized funeral will be held for the late Talita Strawn on Friday, August 17th at 10 a.m. at Faith United Missionary Baptist Church on Faith United Way, that's off Blue Hill Road South. Interment will follow at the Woodlawn Garden Cemetery on Soldier Road. The body will lie in state in the foyer of the Senate in Parliament Square from 9 a.m. on Thursday, August 16th until the body departs for the church on Friday, August 17th. Public viewing will be held between 1 and 7 p.m. on Thursday, August 16th. Well, that does it for National News First at 6. Stay with us. Sports is next with Jonathan Benson.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Debit card, you can be in the know right now. Turn on notifications for your Visa card from CIBC First Caribbean, and you will know every time your card is used. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
If you've lost your visa, call the law office of Donette Russell Love PL. My full-service immigration firm can help you if you've been denied a visa due to deportation or removal, prior conviction or arrest while in the U.S., working without work authorization, or visa overstay. I may be able to help you get your visa privileges restored. Call my office today at 954-449-1833 or visit us at drusselllove.com.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The North American, Central American, and Caribbean Track and Field Championships, better known as NACAC, underway in Toronto, Canada. The men's 100-meter semifinals saw Cliff Reese stop the clock in 10.71 for third in his heat, and he is on to the finals. Alonzo Russell also third in his 400 semifinal in 46.88. He too earning a lane in the finals. Now later on, Katrina Seymour, she will be in Heat 1, Lane 3 of the women's 400 hurdles. That's at 6:55. Kaywan Culmore in the men's triple jump at 7:05. Devin Charlton contests the women's 100 hurdle semifinals out of Heat 2, Lane 3. That's at 8 p.m. Tania Gaither will be in Heat 1, Lane 5 of the women's 200 prelims at 8:30. After that, Cliff comes back for the men's 200 heats. He'll be in Heat 1, Lane 1, and he will be joined by Teray Smith, Heat 3, Lane 4, to close out Day 1 for Team Bahamas. On to the World Junior Rowing Championships in the Czech Republic. Ethan Stanhope finishing third in his Stage 3 semifinal this morning. His time there, 7:26.46. Sydney Clark continuing her run into the semifinals of the ITF Coca-Cola Junior Tennis Tournament in St. Lucia. She won a quarterfinal 6-4-2 to reach the Final Four. Clark also into the double semifinals, teaming with Tequila Riley from Barbados. They won 6-3-4. Dante Brister not as fortunate in singles. He lost his quarterfinal in 2 tiebreakers. However, he is still alive in doubles after he and Bajan Romain Myers scored a 7-6, 6-4 victory. Not a good outing last night for Team Bahamas at the Cal Ripken Babe Ruth 12 Under World Series in Branson, Missouri. They had just one hit and were shut out in the international semifinals 8-0 against Japan. Andrew Arthur had the lone hit for the Freedom Farm team, which was the Bahamian side. From the minor league baseball diamond, Deshaun Knowles has been promoted from the Arizona League to rookie ball with the Orem Owls. Yesterday, he went 2 for 4, 2 runs scored and an RBI in the team's 4-2 win over Missoula. Chavez Young also 2 for 4, stole his 30th base of the season. Lansing nipped Dayton 4-3. Rashad Monroe 1 for 4 with a run scored in the loss there. Jazz Rado Chisholm 2 for 5, a run scored and stole his 4th base for Visalia. They shut out Lake Elsinore 11-0. Meantime, in the Arizona League, Christian Robinson 1 for 4 for the Diamondbacks. They won 2-1 over the Padres. Team Bahamas off today at the CONCACAF Under-15 Girls Championships in Florida. After finishing group play winless at 0-3, they will play in the consolation round tomorrow against Antigua and Barbuda. 2 games last night in the Providence Softball Association. In the men's feature game, it was the Commando Security Truckers shutting out the Chances Mighty Mitts 11-0 behind winning pitcher Thomas Davis. As for the ladies opener, it was another early night for the Sunshine Auto Wildcats. They also put a bagel on the board, shutting out the Alive Strikers 23-0. From the WNBA, after walking up the 5th spot in the playoffs on Wednesday, Jonquel Jones and the 17-12 Connecticut Sun go for their 6th straight win tonight when they travel to the Windy City to face the already eliminated 10-19 Chicago Sky. The Sun won the first meeting between the two in Chicago. The Summer of Thunder back on the floor last night at the Atlantis Resort. The Kentucky Wildcats shot the lights out against the pro team from Argentina, San Lorenzo. As a result of the power outage, the first half ended early.
This team is so competitive. I know there was some talk of maybe canceling it at the time. The lighting was bad, the scoreboard was down, and our guys to a man were like, let's play. I don't care what it looks like. This is how it's like a pickup game to them. So they wanted to keep going, and it speaks to our team.
Things like this happen all the time overseas, so it didn't affect that at all. So, it was just a little glitch. Just get warmed up and keep playing.
Nobody panicked, nobody got up. Everybody just handled it, and it was an enjoyable experience, even though the power was out and people were expecting basketball. So every time I come here, and I came for the over Christmas, the tournament that they have, I've done that for ESPN. Everybody's awesome, and this is obviously a great place to be. So, hey, look, you get to cover basketball in August. Kentucky fans are great. The people here are great. It's a lot of fun.
With the early end to the first half, officials added an extra 2 minutes onto the second half, but that didn't make much of a difference as the Cats were in control and won this one 91-68.
It's interesting that we haven't had a lot of practice time, and so we were a little sloppy the first game. And based off the tape work that we did this morning, because we didn't have any practice time, that the guys were able to take what we saw on tape that we didn't do well and put it into action on the court. And we executed, I thought, better tonight offensively and defensively.
Summer of Thunder action also taking place at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are 2-0 last night. They destroyed the New Providence Basketball Association All-Stars 111-26. No, that's not a mistake. 111-26 the score. As for their opener on Wednesday, they won big there as well over IBA Elite 119-61.
We're really trying to find ourselves. We're young. We've got some freshmen and some new guys, but I love how we shared the ball tonight. We got 2 more games. We just want to be a little bit better and know a little more about each other before we leave the island.
I think we played really well. It was great to finally get on the same side. This is our first game with our whole team. I think we did a really good job of sharing the ball and playing good defense.
Alabama State also 2-0 in Summer of Thunder action. They opened up with a 106-81 win over the Atlantis All-Stars on Wednesday and followed that up with a much closer one last night, 97-88 over Star Sports.
It was a tough ball game, very tough ball game. This is why we wanted to come and play this time of the year. They have game simulations where you're playing on a tight ball game and you got to make good decisions with the basketball. And it was really, really good for our kids. I thought they stood up and played a tough ball game down the stretch.
Some top young basketball talent from the U.S. in town for the Blue Marlin Classic at the AF Adelaide Gym. In action yesterday, Team Williams got a stiff test from the home-based Spartans, but the visitors would hold on for a 44-41 victory.
They played very hard. They boxed out on defense and offense, which is something that we needed to improve on as we continue to play these games in this tournament. And I think that they executed more and better on offense with the initial plays that we had set.
That is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer, you know. I actually wanted to be a doctor, and when I was on my way to med school, I had this whole epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. You know, it isn't anything specific. It's just, you know, just enjoying the environment, and that's what I think music should be about, being free.
Tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected. Family.
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 Every day, every day, every day.
Minister D'Aguilar, now the Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands. What are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to go to the Family Islands of the Bahamas to bring tourism back to our family of islands.
And there's no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Let's go. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com today.
The Morning Edition is here on the ZNS Television Network, waking up to traffic, weather, news, and developing stories. It's the Morning Edition with your ZNS News team, waking you up.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Miss something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
In news from the region, the Antigua and Barbuda government says it stands ready to assist Dominica by providing certain incentives that would make the island attractive to Ross University, as the debate continues over the decision of the U.S.-owned tertiary education institution to relocate to Barbados. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown indicated that Antigua and Barbuda recognizes the monumental role played by Ross University in the economy of Dominica. A strike by employees of First Citizens Bank in Barbados that threatened to cripple the financial institution has been called off after the bank and the union representing workers reached an agreement on profit sharing. Following 6 hours of talks between senior officials of the bank and the Barbados Workers Union, the workers ended the strike and returned to their jobs. And in Jamaica, police there are reporting that 50-year-old manager of Alliance Investment of Buttercup Drive, Arnie Francis, was shot and killed by unknown assailants at his home in the parish yesterday. Reports state that Francis was entering his premises when he and a female companion were approached by a lone gunman who opened fire on them before making his escape. Residents heard the explosions and then called the police.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, the tropics relatively quiet, and that's because we still have some strong upper level winds, but there is an area of disturbed weather midway between Africa and the Les Antilles, has a very low chance of developing over the next 5 days. And then on the home front, a weak high pressure system will render some light winds over the weekend, and that means some beautiful boating conditions. This is the type of weekend that you want to go there and enjoy the waters of the Bahamas. But there are still some showers looking around. Have a little weak troughing just to the north and east of us, and that will fire up some showers over the northwest and central parts of the country tonight, and things should be improving a little bit tomorrow. Outside of our studios, we have a mix of cloud and sunshine. Your temperature 86 degrees, relative humidity at 65%. The winds are out of the northeast at 4 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,017.4 millibars. That is 30.15 inches, and it is rising. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks so much, Basil. That does it for First at 6. It's time now for a check on stories making news around the Northern Bahamas.
Some good news regarding the newly built fire station on Grands Bahama. The Minister of Labor addressing the dismantling of shanty towns in the north. And a Christian leader preparing for a new calling.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. A local member of parliament addressing a major project within his constituency, and he's apologizing to the people of Grand Bahama for the delay in its opening. The new fire station, recently constructed on Settlers Way, has yet to be commissioned. Italia Hall reports.
A multi-million-dollar contract was signed in May of 2015 for the construction of the new state-of-the-art fire station at a cost of $6.2 million. Now, while the construction process is completed, the government announced that they were waiting on furniture. Member of Parliament for the area, Frederick McAlpine, says he apologizes to residents on Grand Bahama on behalf of the government for the delay.
Hopefully we can be up and running. It has been a concern because this has been sitting here for over a year now since its completion, and we need bodies in here, and we'd like to get the fire officers from the place that they're at into this modern day 21st century facility, which I think would be appropriate for them. It is a very lovely job.
The fire station was completed in 2017 by contractor Patrick McDonald.
Those that are going to be in this building, that are firemen and the personnel will be responsible in making sure that they maintain this building to the quality of structure that it is. And the way to do that is to take care of it, and that the government should also see to it that maintenance is done from time to time on not just this building but many other buildings. That has been the area that we seem to fall down in. We build these magnanimous buildings, and then at the end of the day we have problems, i.e. the courthouse, etc., again, which is also in the Pine Ridge constituency.
Now, just as the Member of Parliament was wrapping up the interview, Bellevue Business Depot could be seen pulling into the parking lot of the fire station, and then workers could also be seen pulling furniture off of their truck. The MP says he's not sure of an opening date for the fire station. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Now, the Minister of National Security is responding to the comments made by the Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge. He says that residents can be assured that the fire station will be opened soon. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames, says that he too would like to apologize to the people of Grand Bahama for the delay in the opening of the police and fire station, but wishes to assure residents that it is not due to a lack of effort on behalf of the government.
Since taking over, we've been working with all of the stakeholders, the contractor, the Ministry of Works, the police in particular, to move as quickly as we can to get the police and fire station open. As you're aware, there is a process involved. I mean, the contractor is still completing some of his work on his punch list. We're very near the end.
He says that he is happy to report that residents can look forward to the opening of the station sometime in mid-September.
I'm happy to report, as I have been informed, that the furniture, at least the first trailer delivery, is on site. I believe that there's another trailer that should be on site within another day or so. And those persons will be working throughout the weekend and into next week, ensuring that the furnitures are assembled and installed in the various offices.
Earlier this year, a manpower audit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force was tabled in the House of Assembly. It was noted that there is a manpower deficit, especially in the entry-level officers. Minister Dames says that while having the physical structure open is important, adequate staffing is also essential.
The fire department was also covered, and so we also have deficits within there. I'm happy to report, however, that we have a squad of 35 officers from around the Bahamas who are currently training on the island of Grand Bahama. And they will be a part of the new complement of that station. And so when we look at opening a police station, we have to look at more than just opening the doors, but we have to ensure that once those doors are open, that we have sufficient of enough resources to ensure that the residents of that immediate area, and by extension Grand Bahama on the whole, can rely on the efficiency of that station.
In other news, a court injunction has halted the government's plan to demolish shanty towns in New Providence. However, that action does not prevent the government from proceeding with the dismantling of those unregulated housing communities in the Family Islands. Here in the northern Bahamas, Abaco is among the islands the government is focusing on. Sabrina Brown reports.
Chairman of the Shantytown Action Task Force, Minister of Labor Senator the Honorable Dion Fowkes, says there is an active task force committee in Marsh Harbor conducting a comprehensive study of the 5 unregulated housing communities on that northern island, including Elbow Key.
We hope to have the results of the survey within a week. We get different assessments and different numbers in terms of the population of the mud and pigeon pea, and it can range anywhere from 1,500 to 7,000. So we are trying to get our handle on exactly how many residents in those areas, so we know exactly what we're dealing with.
Once that study is completed, Minister Fowkes says the task force will move forward.
As we did in Nassau, we will begin giving out notices to all of the residents and to all of the owners of the land to vacate. We will give them the legal required time to leave their home, and then we will begin with the removal of the shanty towns.
But Abaco is not the only family island that the government is attempting to rid of these illegal settlements.
Eleuthera has about 11. There's a big one in Spanish Wells, on Russell Island, which is right next to Spanish Wells, and there are about 10 smaller ones throughout Eleuthera, but mainly in the north. And there is a fairly big one with about 200 or so residents in North Andrews. So basically, those are the remaining islands.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
What if the solutions to your household challenges was just around the corner? Like upgrading to rooms-to-go furniture, landscaping your property, modernizing your kitchen, fixing your plumbing and electrical issues, Ace Paint for your home, television upgrade, and electronics. Tools to simplify household repair, awesome kitchen gadgets and utensils, machines and tools for yard work, outdoor furniture and grilling supplies. You've got challenges, Dolly Madison's got the solutions.
Come on down. Now, it's back to school and back to school savings at Bellevue Business Depot. For all of your back to school and teacher supplies, they have it all at an extra 20% off retail price. Crayons, glue, markers, crayon pencils, backpack, character bags, meat notebooks, and teacher supplies for the classroom, and much, much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the backpack bundles for preschool, primary school, and high school, loaded with all the supplies you need for back to school. Teachers get your first 8-foot Butcher Fadeless paper free when you purchase a minimum of 10 feet, as well as additional discounts at the Coffee Center. All at Bellevue Business Depot, located on Queens Highway.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane Packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there.
Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. We are approaching the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season, and the watchword remains preparedness. The Rotary clubs on Grand Bahama play a vital role during and after a storm, particularly with the distribution of water. President of the Rotary Club of Freeport, Darren Cooper, assuring the Grand Bahama community that they are prepared for any eventuality.
We don't wait for the disaster to come. We are prepared and we are ready. Our tanks are filled and we have a plan in place that once we are under a warning or a watch, we will then mobilize our manpower and our organization. We will make sure that all of the hurricane shelters are supplied with potable drinking water. And so we are ready. We are always ready.
Assistant District Governor Rangan Johnson says the Rotary clubs provide relief assistance in other areas as well.
With all shelter, we help with clothing and food items, and we do receive both locally as well as internationally, especially from District 690, money as well as other assistance as we need it, and they are very, very good neighbors to us.
A Christian leader who has been a part of the Grand Bahama community for over 3 decades, preparing to leave the island to assume a new post in the nation's capital. Tonight, the rector of the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King is reflecting on his time here on the island and shares what he is looking forward to as he prepares to transition into this new phase.
Well, I'm going to miss Grand Bahama a whole lot.
Rector of the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King, Archdeacon Harry Bain, preparing for a new post in the nation's capital, which is set to begin as of September 1st. Father Bain says that so far, the transition has been somewhat stressful. He is set to become the new rector of Christ Church Cathedral and will then assume the title of the Very Reverend Harry Bain.
There, my responsibilities will be similar to what it is here. Although in cathedrals, you know, there are lots of services on Sundays and, of course, during the week. And it is the center of the diocese, the mother church of the diocese. So there will be any number of diocesan services from time to time that I'd be responsible in terms of preparation for the services. And I'll also be a part of the Bishop's Advisory Council.
Archdeacon Bain says that he has been living on Grand Bahama for over 35 years and will surely miss this community. Since moving to the island, he says that he's had experiences throughout the island in various capacities through the Anglican Church.
I originally came to Grand Bahama from Governor's Harbour, Eleuthera, St. Patrick's Parish, under Bishop Eldon. I was transferred to Freeport High School, it was called then, as a teacher and chaplain. And then after I served a stint there, I came to Christ the King as an assistant, full-time assistant with Dean Foster Pestana, who was rector of Christ the King at the time.
As he prepares to assume his new post, Bain says that he is looking forward to meeting and getting to know his new parishioners.
My understanding is that it is a very busy place in the heart of the city, so there will be the challenge of ministry in the context of the city, reaching out to, I believe, the businesses in the area and business persons and people who work and traverse around the city, as well as the tourists that come in. They are quite regularly into the cathedral because it's a historical building. So from that perspective, it's going to be a different type of ministry.
Archdeacon Bain says that he is grateful to everyone he has had an opportunity to work with on Grand Bahama, especially the Christ the King family. Now, Canon Norman Lightbourne will become the new rector of the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King. And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Hi and welcome. As I mentioned previously, traveler's diarrhea can become common during the summer months. If you think you may have traveler's diarrhea, drink 2 to 3 quarts of fluid per day. In the first 24 hours, the best fluids to drink are bottled fruit juices and beverages, caffeine-free soft drinks, hot tea, and broth. Try to match the amount of fluid lost in the stools with the amount of fluid taken orally. During the next 24 hours, eat bland foods such as rice, soup, bread, crackers, eggs, and cereals. Advance to regular foods after 2 to 3 days. In more severe cases, over-the-counter medications such as Pepto-Bismol or Imodium may help reduce symptoms and shorten the time it lasts. In order to prevent traveler's diarrhea, especially when traveling to foreign countries, avoid these foods: raw vegetables, raw fish, meat and dairy products, raw leafy vegetables, unpeeled fruits, tap water, ice, or any food from street vendors. Foods and drinks that are generally safe to eat and drink are well-cooked fish, meats, and vegetables served hot, carbonated beverages, and boiled or boiled water. These are a few helpful tips to keep you and your family healthy during your summer travel. If you have questions on how to stay healthy during your vacation, email askthedoctorbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away. A check on sports is up next with Rumiko Knowles.
KMW Battery and Tire Sales is offering oil change special for just $49.99 plus VAT. Includes oil and filter. KMW is located on West Settlers Way.
John West Shoe Store is still your #1 family shoe store for work, school, formal occasions, and play. We're stocked to the roof with all your favorite brands like Timberland, Reebok, Levi's, and Vikings, from infants to men. Ladies, we've got your flats opened and closed, wedges and stilettos, and everything else in between. So, when your feet is calling for a new pair of shoes, John West Shoe Store. John West Shoe Store. We're gonna take you there in style.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to sports. I'm Rumiko Knowles. Topping sports this evening, the Marco City Basketball Tournament wrapping up week 1 with games played at the Richard Gator Park in Pinez Loop. Let's head down to the courts. Teams and players from various basketball camps turned out in big numbers. The Member of Parliament for the area, the Honourable Michael Pintard, on hand expressing his thanks to organisers and all those taking part in this year's tournament. He says that it's the first of many to come.
We are committed to organising a series of tournaments, not just in basketball, softball, and other sports. We are hoping to enter the Legacy Baseball League next year. We also would like to have an adult and young people softball team as well for the next coming season. For those of you that are interested in Junkanoo, we are committed at the constituency office to doing at least 2 things. One, sponsoring a Junkanoo group, as well as helping to build a facility that those Junkanoos can generate revenue for the group, for the community, and for themselves.
The Member of Parliament also says that at least 100 persons have been employed from the area and that he is committed to increasing that number next year.
We've had no less than 15 young people from Marco City who would have received varying levels of grant, most of them $5,000 to $10,000 to help them get their businesses started, through the Marco City program and through the program of the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. We are committed to empowering you. And so we want to let you know that we are concerned about the challenges you face. We intend to work with you on an ongoing basis to help improve your life.
Play continues this coming Saturday, August 11th at the Moon McPhee Park. Championship play continued as well in the West Grand Bahama Summer League. In the under-13 play, GB Dental crowned champions, sweeping Candies Wolverine 26-11, sweeping the series 2-0. Jonathan Hepburn got 10 points and named MVP. In the under-15 play, GB Power tied the series 1-all, defeating the Busy Bubble Extractors 31-22. Denario Rigby got 16 points. In the under-17 division, Express Stackers evened their series 1-1, defeating Zorbas Destroyers 41-31. Ruben Samuel with 10 points. In the open play division, a third and deciding game will be played as the PNF Car Rental tied their series 1-1 over Russell Drillers 35-34. Delano Dean had 17 points for the win. All do-or-die games will be played tomorrow with the awards presentation to follow. The Deputy Prime Minister is expected to be in attendance at the park in Pinedale, 8 Mile Rock. The sport of baseball has given many Bahamians opportunities to study abroad and play professionally. In this report, we hear from a coach, a father, and consultant on the importance of education. Let's go to Jay Philippe.
Jumping from high school to the pros has been something that baseball players from the Bahamas are looking forward to. President of Premier Plus Consultant Sports Management talked about the decision that families of top prospects are faced with as it relates to baseball players pursuing their professional careers.
So everybody has to evaluate those opportunities as they come by. In terms of professional opportunity, all the kids here play baseball for that dream. And so even if they're offered $20,000, $40,000 versus someone who's offered $1 million, would they accept it or would they refuse it?
Knowles also elaborated on the recent success of baseball players, especially from Grand Bahama, who were fortunate to sign pro deals the past few years. He also talked about the reality of not becoming a pro baseball player and the awareness that coaches should share with their players.
The reality of it, this is not the Dominican Republic where we have 4 million people in one slot. Not everybody's going to sign, and even if a lot of people sign, the percentages are very low. So we in the Bahamas have to really, as family, as coaches, as support network, we have to really be involved with our students, evaluate the opportunity, select university if that's what you want, but prepare for everything. That's what high school is about, prepare for everything, and then determine what you want to do moving forward. But definitely, your foundation should be based on your academics and what you want to do from now till the Lord call you home.
Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Jay Philippe.
And that's going to do it for sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
We've raised the state. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
Love, you look worried today.
Belinda, you know I have 2 more rooms to complete. Now, if I've been from 7 to 12%, how in the world am I supposed to do this?
Here at Island Bedding, we know things have been pretty thin for the past few years.
You think?
15 years, Island Bedding has been keeping Bahamian shopping at home by providing quality products at affordable prices.
Belinda, Island Bedding prices is good. It is really, really good. Your price is going to increase also to 12%. Just saying. Just saying, Belinda.
Nah, Dr. Love, look here. Seeing is believing. With the upcoming change in VAT to 12%, we have adjusted too to keep our products affordable. And we did it too.
Now listen here, Island Bedding have done it again, kicking up a whole notch.
Now you know you're getting value for your dollar.
Visit our showroom today on Queens Highway.
They call him Mr. Cardioblast, and now he's making history in another expanding industry. Phenomenal graduates doing some phenomenal things, and a phenomenal weight loss story and the fitness trainer behind his success. And get ready for a phenomenal word.
Manifestation is coming to your house. Believe God. Trust God. No matter what's happening in the country, no matter what's happening in your house, you got to believe the report and the word of God.
Phenomenal with Joan Davis Roll.
This Friday at 8 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a wonderful weekend.
Extraordinary Bahamians make up the heart and soul of Commonwealth Brewery's dedicated team. Influencing each generation, there's one sound that is undeniably Bahamian: the sound of the cowbell.
We actually brew this beer from scratch, all done by Bahamians. I've been with CBL now for 32 years.
27 years.
18 years. 23 years.
If it's made in the Bahamas by Bahamians, then of course it is Bahamian.
The Morning Edition is here on the ZNS Television Network, waking up to traffic, weather, news, and developing stories. It's the Morning Edition with your ZNS News team, waking you up.
The public is advised that for its convenience, the Passport Office Issuance Section only will be open for collection of passports on the following Saturdays during the month of August 2018 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th. Where applicable, members of the public are reminded to bring their receipts and passports at the time of collection. Please note that all third-party collections must be accompanied by a signed letter of authorization from the passport holder or guardian, relevant passport and receipt, and a valid government-issued identification, passport, driver's license, or NIB smart card of the person authorized to collect.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. Getting down to business. The fine details of the Over the Hill initiative explained in a town hall overnight. Nurses meet with the doctor-in-chief. Ahead tonight, hear if their talks with the Prime Minister brought any healing to a tenuous industrial fallout. And memorials begin for a former senator. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, it's a concept that's been promoted as the impetus for upward mobility for inner city residents. Well, last night, the nuts and bolts of the Over the Hill Community Development Partnership were discussed with residents during a town hall at the Salem Union Baptist Church. Our Altaviz Munnings was there.
Mainly all of the seats for Thursday night's town meeting, conducted by officials of the Over the Hill Community Development Partnership Initiative at Salem Union Baptist Church on Taylor Street, were filled with residents eager to learn more about the project. Director Samita Ferguson told our news team the event was more of an information workshop.
The workshop was to engage those in the various businesses so they could know the process that it takes in order to apply for various concessions and various items that will assist them in terms of bettering their business and which will bring forth social empowerment throughout the community.
And many of those business owners and interested persons took advantage of the information shared by officials from the Ministries of Works, Finance, the Office of the Prime Minister, and the National Insurance Board.
These are the demographics we see in the Over the Hill area. Approximately over 4,400 standalone residences. And we see about 700 plus standalone business complexes. Why is this data important? When we look at the information supplied by National Insurance, we see that in that small zone I previously described, there are over 2,000 businesses registered. The composition is roughly about 33% of these businesses being in the retail sector, 13% in domestic, and then about 10% in construction. But more importantly, in that small boundary, we have about 11,400 persons being employed in this inner city area.
The business advisory services that are being afforded by the government through this program are going to be critical, not just for startups, but also for businesses that are already in existence, but you would like to expand.
Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Hubert Minnis briefed the residents on what the program will accomplish and how it will impact them.
All development within the areas, be it the government complex or the Southern Recreation Ground, a certain percentage of employees must be from that area. We will embark upon cleaning up the area with your involvement, but to maintain it, it is our intention to have what we call block supervisors, where we would employ individuals from the area who would be responsible for monitoring that particular block. So they would be on salary to ensure that nobody litters our area, and if we see litter increases, they will be fired, because we would need a new monitor.
Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
A new Chief Justice sworn in today. With more than 40 years of legal experience under his belt, Senior Justice Stephen Isaacs took the oath of office today. Jiminy DeSwain tells us what changes the new Chief Justice wants to effect.
I, Stephen Isaacs, do swear that I will well and truly serve Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, in the office of Chief Justice, and will do right to all manner of people after the laws and usages of the Bahamas, without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. So help me God.
With those words, Stephen Isaacs was officially appointed the Chief Justice. Back in December, he was appointed in an acting position. Members of the legal fraternity in the lower and higher courts turned out for the brief ceremony. Attorney General the Honorable Carl Baffle is proud of the achievements of Senior Justice Isaacs.
We think that he is an excellent jurist, a man who has dealt with every manner of legal dispute and who has done so efficiently, effectively, fairly, and impartially. And we have every confidence that in the discharge of his office, he will attain the very highest standards to be expected of a Chief Justice of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The Attorney General had these words for those who criticized the length of time it took to formalize the appointment.
The Prime Minister felt it was his right to exercise discernment, not to rush to something. Yes, he ended up really at a foregone conclusion, but he did so after due deliberation and careful thought and consultation, not only with me, but with the wider legal profession, with other senior attorneys, and also, I know for a fact, with other members of the judiciary.
For his part, Chief Justice Isaacs is hoping to see more efficiency in the dispensation of justice, though he notes there is a challenge with the number of judges and their caseloads.
Civil judges that are left, they are swamped with those 1,500, 1,700, 1,900 cases that get piled into the system each year. That is something we have to look at. We've been looking at it. We keep looking at it. And we try to distribute the cases a little more evenly. I have the criminal judges hear some civil matters. That's as far as we've gotten so far.
Several senior attorneys toasted the new Chief Justice, who they described as fair and just.
Reaching this post and being honored by the appointment as Chief Justice is truly a pinnacle in his career as a person that has spent nearly 40 years, I believe, making his life's work helping to find justice according to law.
I truly believe that our people will benefit from your continued public service. As President of the Bahamas Bar Association and an officer of the Supreme Court, I assure you of my unyielding support for the improvement of the administration of and access to justice in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Jiminy DeSwain, ZNS Network News.
The number of residents living in shanty towns throughout New Providence is dwindling. Today is the August 10th deadline for eviction based on a government order, and while some residents are gone, there are others who are still in search of places to live. DeAndre Williamson visited a shanty town, and residents gave her this update on what was supposed to be moving day.
The deadline for residents to leave shanty towns is here, though a court injunction means the government is barred from expelling residents pending the outcome of a hearing. While many homes in this shanty town off Island Drive sit empty, Beatrice Hall is still packing.
I could try see if I could go time is Sunday or Monday. I could try see if I could still move, because I don't know when they come in. They say they're supposed to come Saturday. I don't know when they come in. Then they come with the truck. I'm going to be here when they push me down, and I got to look bad, trying to get this out the house and take out that. It's very look bad. It will look bad on me. You see what I mean? It ain't look good. So whatever you could do, you could try. You got to try, do something for yourself. And just be, got to move up. Can't stay down.
The family who occupy this home here in the shanty town off Island Drive moved out about 2 weeks ago, and they are now living in an apartment off Carmichael Road. Ahead of the court action, the Shantytown Commission was in the process of assisting residents who were finding it difficult to secure new housing. This resident, named Tony, is among them.
I got 2 months on, so I tried to get a house. I was paid. Someone else get their money back, so I can't pay one myself.
Earlier this month, Shantytown Action Task Force Chairman Senator Dion Fowlkes announced that 2 shantytowns won't be demolished. One is on All Saints Way off Golden Isles Road, and the other is in Bedrock off Bacardi Road. The homes in these areas, he says, won't be demolished because they satisfy building codes. Government plans to transform shantytowns into affordable housing communities for Bahamians with homes that meet the country's building code. Overall, Hall says while she looks forward to moving like other shantytown residents, she will miss the community she lived in for more than 30 years.
I enjoy myself by living here and being here for so long like that on the property, but I know it's hard and how we live in, it's very poor, but I try my best.
For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
A local daily headline, Taranaki, Now There's Some Hope, is drawing some feedback from the government, concerned that it incorrectly suggests that the government is working to ensure that the stateless teen is given access to medical care in the U.S. Well, today the Cabinet Office issued a statement saying, contrary to the article, the government has made no such offer or promise and that the Cabinet categorically refutes this. The statement further indicates that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is looking into the provision of a certificate of identity for Taranaki in accordance with established policy. Nurses Union President Amantia Williams met with Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis at his office in Cable Beach this morning. She described the meeting as productive and thanked the Prime Minister for listening to the concerns of nurses. President Williams also indicated that another meeting with the Prime Minister is set for the end of this month.
All the issues that we were back and forth with PHA, Department of Public Health and Labor. All these concerns we lay before Prime Minister. We look forward, and the Prime Minister, he made some commitments to us, and we look forward in seeing these commitments being established and carried out as promised. And so we wait to see the Prime Minister orders to take place and to reassure the members of the Bahamas Nurses Union that everything is in favor of the worker. The worker is what matters.
Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands is looking forward to the improvements to infrastructural upgrades at the Princess Margaret Hospital. He told a news conference yesterday that amidst the goal of constructing a new facility, the upcoming works will transform the PMH significantly.
While the plan is to create a brand new accident emergency facility, that is a number of years off. What we are going to do is to freshen up, improve many aspects of the existing accident emergency, expand the footprint, improve the throughput, ensure that the experience that the public has in our emergency facility is consistent with what they believe is the appropriate standard for a modern-day Bahamas.
Dr. Sands adds that the upgrades to 2 community clinics will allow patients to get emergency treatment closer to home.
When the projects at Elizabeth Estates, South Beach, and A&E are complete, people will be able to decide after a long day whether they just simply want to go to an urgent care center in their neighborhood or not too far from their home, or to travel downtown to the epicenter, ground zero, which is accident emergency at Princess Margaret Hospital. I don't think that anybody would deny that that's where it happens. That is where the ultimate care can be provided. But
Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd is assuring that there are no teacher shortages in North Andros. During his visit to the island earlier this week, he inspected the progress of school repairs. He told ZNS News that while there were some teacher retirements and resignations, the ministry will know if there are any teacher shortages at schools throughout the country before school is opened, and that they'll be addressed.
But at the moment, we are very satisfied with the complement of teachers. We have not had to go overseas and recruit teachers because we've got our cohort of requirements from the University of the Bahamas. We are happy to say that. And, based on the transfers and the new appointments, pretty much throughout the Family Islands in New Providence, inclusive of Andros, North Andros in particular. We are doing very well. I'm very happy to report.
Well, still ahead tonight, guess where the BAIC Farmers Market will pop up tomorrow? And it's the Summer of Thunder. Hear all about it coming up in sports. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter. Summer promotion.
Get ready! Commonwealth Bank wants to make this your best summer ever. Get the loan you need at a special discount this summer only. Cash for your best vacation, best laughs, best memories. And want to know the best part? You could win a trip for 4. So don't wait. The discount ends soon. Talk to us today about your best summer ever loan. Approval is fast and easy. Conditions apply.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come running. No matter the
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around.
Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
Summer is here, and it's the time of year we love getting together with family and friends. And nothing shows your love more than one of KFC's new buckets. KFC's Bucket Love is all about our freshly prepared chicken, delicious sides, and hot buttery biscuits starting at just $20. KFC, it's finger looking good.
Now, Vanessa, you look stressed though.
Girl, listen, I here on my little piece of lunch break trying to pay these bills. I gotta go head to BTC, then I gotta go fly to BEC, and then I gotta go swim to Water and Sewage.
Girl, look, save your time and your gas, all right? Make one stop.
How? Take it backside to Cash and Go. You pay all 3 bills one time. It's one line, one place,
What a bunch of locations.
You think I should go now?
Vanessa, you ain't reached yet? Cash and Go. Fast, free, convenient. Call 322-CASH for more information.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Water and Sewage Corporation issuing a statement on reports that the corporation's Malcolm Park works are related to the conch poisoning cases here in the capital. Officials say before construction, preliminary work was conducted to ensure no contamination or cross-contamination existed at or around the area. Officials ensured the prevention of debris, materials, or waste from entering the sea, checked the water consumption of 17 Potterski dock vendors who were either not using city water or minimal water, and strongly recommended that an inspection be conducted. Environmental Health Services also advised that there have been no cases of conch poisoning. Rather, there have been cases of conch poisoning at Arawak Key and as far away as Lyford Key. Also, environmental health teams will resample for any viruses between Montague and Arawak Key. Well, last week, a system error caused one supermarket not to be able to comply with the new VAT-free bread basket regulations. Phoenix Fresh Market in Coral Harbor was given 1 week to have its problems corrected, and today, VAT inspectors visited the store to ensure that all was in order. Manager Manlin Wu says their technical teams worked around the clock, and by Monday of this week, they had the problem corrected. Last week, a sign was posted on the door saying due to a problem with VAT-free exemption, it would not be applied until August 9th. This didn't sit well with consumers, many of whom took to social media to air their grievances. In light of this, Wu says they're happy to be able to provide their customers with the items at the new VAT-free prices. The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation taking its pop-up market to Freetown tomorrow. The weekly initiative has become quite popular, with many flocking to get their fresh produce. Welcoming the group to Freetown was Area Member of Parliament, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, who also issued this challenge.
Freetown is delighted to be receiving this pop-up farmers market this coming Saturday. Especially in the wonderful part of our constituency, Kemp Road, by the famous Uriah McPhee Primary School. So you're bringing it to the Bahamian people, but I don't want you to lose sight of the fact that we have 6.3 million foreign visitors come to our country each and every year. So in my capacity as Minister of Tourism, I challenge you to go to the purchasing agents of the hotels and to see where we can get them to source some of their food requirements from local producers. That's where we connect tourism with our local industry.
Meantime, Executive Chairman of BAIC, Michael Folk, says he has high hopes for tomorrow's event.
The government's long-term goal is to drastically reduce our reliance on imports by growing, processing, marketing, and exporting our food and reducing the cost of living for all Bahamians. We are doing just that today in Freetown and through our farmers market every Saturday.
Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer issuing a statement saying the government has taken another step toward openness and transparency, with the Prime Minister holding meetings with members of the public during the parliamentary summer recess. Culmer says the Prime Minister believes when you work for the people must have the opportunity to engage their leaders directly. He noted that it's a marked departure from the 5 years under the PLP administration. The FNM chairman says it's all about accountability, and the FNM believes the people deserve that from their leaders.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
I'm Belinda Payne, and this is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Wrap. Investors traded 84,014 shares this week over the exchange with 40 trades. 9 out of the 20 publicly traded companies experienced activity this week. The lead advancer for the week was AML Foods, trading 1,000 shares to close up 1.12% to $4.50 per share. Commonwealth Bank was the volume leader this week, trading 60,900 shares to close up 1.07% to $3.78 per share. And Bahamas Waste Limited traded 2,000 shares to close up 1% to $4.06 per share. Cable Bahamas was the lone decliner for the week, trading 3,000 shares to close down 2.03% to $2.90 per share. Here's your World Tip for the week. Here are 3 big ways to make sure a vacation won't derail your financial budget. 1. Make a savings plan. You've created your dream vacation budget. Now it's time to make your dream a reality. Consider the time between now and your vacation and determine how much you need to save each week to meet your savings goal. 2. Budget honestly. Ask yourself what you can truly afford. You have to be disciplined. If you can't afford to go on a vacation, don't go now. You can plan for it to happen later. 3. Leave the credit card behind. One of the problems with vacations is the sense of escape from real life, an attitude that can cause abandoning financial sense. If you have the discipline to say you will only have a certain amount to spend, you can leave the credit card at home. That way, you don't spend $3,000 on a trip that you only budgeted $1,500 for. I'm Belinda Payne, and this has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap.
We start with a yes. But when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, at any time, with no blackout dates. Plus, With just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
Bonaventure Medical Laboratory at East Avenue, Centerville and Sandyport celebrates 20 years of providing quality laboratory services with timely results. While partnering with your physicians and insurance companies, we have expanded into our modernized facility providing EKG testing, the latest in gonorrhea and chlamydia STD tests, rapid tests, paternity screens, online reporting of results, and also phlebotomy training. Visit or call Bonaventure Medical Lab, open daily at 7:30 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. or visit our Sandyport or Southside Clinic locations.
Growing up as a child, my father hosted a summer basketball program called Southern Recreation Youth Basketball Program, and it was held right on the government grounds, as we commonly call it. And one day, one of the guys asked, "Which one of your parents do you live with?" And I said, "Both." And he said, "They live in the same house?" I said, "Yeah." And he was surprised, and he said, "Wow." And it was then that I realized that I was privileged and I had the advantage of having both parents to give me that extra boost. And that's why the Over the Hill Community Initiative is so important, because they're tasked with the job of empowering and inspiring all of the people in the community, but especially those who did not have the advantage as I did.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill Project.
I tell you, this heat ain't playing. Every day hotter than the last. Even the weekly specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets continue to heat up with great prices like Hill's Biscuits, 150-gram pack, 99 cents. Fresh pork shoulders, $1.39 per pound. Lay's chips, 1-ounce bag, 2 for 99 cents. Gatorade drinks, 64-ounce bottle, $2.99. Sweet watermelons, $4.99 each. Watley Bologna, 12-ounce size, 2 for $3. Hot savings only at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pension.
Investigations continue into that double shooting in the Bamboo Town area last night. One man was killed and the other sent to hospital. Police received reports about the shooting incident just after 10 o'clock, and the victim is believed to be a male resident of the area. We talked to Press Officer Superintendent Shanta Knowles.
What we know is that around that time, a group of persons were sitting outside playing a board game when a white vehicle pulled through the corner. The occupants fired at those persons who were playing, injuring them, and then sped away. So we are asking people who may have been in this area and who would have seen what happened, who has some information that can assist us in locating those persons responsible, to please give us a call. Our Crime Stoppers number is 328-8477. That's 328-TIPS. The Central Detective Unit at 502-9991 or 2, or our 919-911 numbers.
Progressive Liberal Party supporters gathered to celebrate the life and legacy of former Senator Talita Strawn at the party headquarters today. Strawn was 85 years old. She served in the Senate between 1987 and 1992 and was a former president of the Straw Vendors Association. This vibrant woman was the mother of former Minister of Social Services Melanie Griffin. PLP leader Philip Brave Davis says Strawn was a freedom fighter who touched the lives of many and embodied the traits of Bahamians, which is becoming endangered.
She believed in the ideals of the Progressive Liberal Party, the party in which she served a lifespan. She was a proud descendant of Kerala. And what they were imbued with the spirit of toil to ensure that her children and theirs had a better place in which to live. She's what I coined a generation caregiver, because she took care of generations to ensure that generations and generations will survive.
And Anglerston Member of Parliament Glenys Hannah Martin remembers Strawn as a woman warrior and says the PLP is privileged to have benefited from her service.
She was amongst a small group of women leaders within this organization, and she was a valued contributor to the political struggle. She had the passion and the intellect which embodied the ethos of this party. The ideology was understood, and she knew what was required to win an election and to win hearts. For me, Delata Strawn was a small beacon of light, of the PLP in its rare essence. Her passion never subsided.
Well, the Cabinet Office announced today that a state-recognized funeral will be held for Strawn on Friday, August 17th at 10 a.m. at Faith United Missionary Baptist Church on Faith United Way. That's off Blue Hill Road South. Interment will follow at Woodlawn Garden Cemetery, Soldier Road. The body will lie in state in the foyer of the Senate between 9 a.m. on Thursday, August 16th, until the body departs for the church on Friday, August 17th. Public viewing will be held between 1 and 7 p.m. on Thursday. Well, stay tuned. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more to come.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Whether you're renovating your home, furthering your education, or shopping for a new or used vehicle, RBC offers flexible and convenient financing that fits your budget. Apply online or visit your nearest RBC branch for expert advice on how RBC can help you get a flexible, customized loan at a great rate. RBC, reimagine how you bank.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward Tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We wash this and press this and clean this. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring all your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring all your children's clothes. Super Wash.
Well, it's the weekend and it's time for your first check of weather. Basil, what does the weekend have in store? How's it looking out there?
Well, the weekend is shaping up pretty much okay. We'll have some showers lurking around, particularly over the open waters. One or two could drift inland, but we'll tell you all about that later in the newscast, so stay tuned. Right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Valleys, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 84 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Torquay, and Abaco, Marsh Harbor at 86 degrees. The Berry Islands 84, 85 in Allenstown, Bimini, Harper Island 84, Roxanne, Eleuthera 84, Otterstown, Cadet 83, 85 degrees in Staniel Key, Kemps Bay, St. Andrews 85, 84 in Fresh Creek, that is in Central Andros. San Salvador and Rumkey 83, 82 in Georgetown, Exuma, Betsy Bay, Maguana, Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Atkins, and Ragged Island, all at 83, Matthew Town, Inago 84 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the northwest Bahamas tonight through tomorrow, light and variable winds with flat seas will continue. Low tide at 1:17 in the morning. The high tide will take place at 7:12 tomorrow morning. For the central and southeastern islands through Saturday, easterly flow 10 to 15, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And on Sunday, the winds become southeast at 10 to 15 knots. This is for the northwestern islands, which includes New Providence. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide 8:06 in the morning. Low tide will take place at 2:18 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, so the winds will be increasing to caution flag level. Wave heights building 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I'm feeling sorry, cause I didn't play that out. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Skin cancer is a very common form of cancer. Almost all skin cancers are the result of too much exposure to ultraviolet light. This is found in sunlight, tanning booths, and sun lamps. Fortunately, it is usually one of the most preventable and curable types of cancer. A sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher is one important part of complete sun protection regimen. Sunscreen alone is not enough, however. Here is a list of skin cancer prevention tips. Seek the shade, especially between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Do not burn. Avoid tanning and ultraviolet tanning beds. Cover up with clothing, including a broad brim hat and ultraviolet blocking sunglasses. Use a broad spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher every day. For extended outdoor activity, use a water-resistant broad spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher. Apply 1 ounce or 2 tablespoons of sunscreen to your entire body 30 minutes before going outside. Reapply every 2 hours or immediately after swimming or excessive sweating. Keep newborns out of the sun. Sunscreens should be used on babies over the age of 6 months. Examine your skin head to toe every month. and see your physician every year for a professional skin exam. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
What things do you value? Even if we value something, we can still lose or misplace it, like a credit card. You can freeze your Visa credit or debit card from CIBC First Caribbean in a flash to stop unauthorized use. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
By Chef Boyardee and Libby's Vienna sausages, and you could win $2,000 for a family vacation or other great prizes for back to school. Enter at Pritchard's on Robinson Road today. Promotion ends August 31st.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
The Morning Edition is here on the ZNS Television Network, waking up to traffic, weather, news, and developing stories. It's the Morning Edition with your ZNS News team, waking you up.
Hundreds of extraordinary Bahamians make up the heart and soul of Commonwealth Brewery's dedicated team. Influencing each generation, there's one sound that is undeniably Bahamian, the sound of the cowbell.
We actually brew this beer from scratch, all done by Bahamians. I've been with CBL now for 32 years.
27 years. 18 years?
23 years.
If it's made in the Bahamas by Bahamians, then of course, it is Bahamian.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The North American, Central American, and Caribbean Track and Field Championships, better known as NACAC, underway in Toronto, Canada. The men's 100-meter semifinal, Sorecliff restopped the clock in 10.71 for third in his heat, and that was good enough to move on to the finals. Alonzo Russell also third in his 400 semifinal in 46.88. Heat 2 earns a lane in the finals. As for the women's 400 hurdle semifinals, Katrina Seymour fifth in her heat, 57.79, and she just missed out on moving on to the final by like 12/100ths of a second. On to the World Junior Rowing Championships now in the Czech Republic. Ethan Stanhope finishing third in his Stage 3 semifinal this morning. His time there was 7:26.46. Sydney Clark continues her run into the semifinals of the International Tennis Federation's Coca-Cola Junior Tournament in St. Lucia. She won her quarterfinals 6-4 and 2 to reach the Final Four. Clark also into the doubles semifinals, teaming with Tequila Riley from Barbados. They won their match 6-3 and 4. Dante Brister not as fortunate in singles. He lost his quarterfinal in 2 tough tiebreakers. However, he is still alive in doubles after he and Bayesian Romain Meyer scored a 7-6, 6-4 victory. Not a good outing last night for Freedom Farm Baseball at the Cal Ripken Babe Ruth 12 Under World Series in Branson, Missouri. They had just one hit and were shut out in the semifinals of the international bracket by Japan 8-0. Andrew Arthur had the lone hit for the Bahamian side. Team Bahamas off today at the CONCACAF Under-15 Girls Championships in Florida. After finishing group play winless at 0-3, they will play in the consolation round tomorrow against Antigua and Barbuda. Our men's senior national volleyball team in Suriname for the Kazova Championships. They serve it up tomorrow in the tournament opener against Trinidad and Tobago at 6 p.m. Also in competition, Barbados, Haiti, and the host. The tournament serves as a qualifier for the Continental Cup next year. The Summer of Thunder back on the floor last night at the Atlantis Resort. Our Amajal Knowles has a recap.
Day 2 of Kentucky's Big Blue Bahamas basketball tour as the team took on Argentinian pro squad San Lorenzo, and the Wildcats certainly shot the lights out from the floor, literally, as the first half power outage caused the game to be delayed for several minutes before officials ultimately ruled that the game would continue in the second half with 22 minutes. We caught up with assistant coach Tony Barbie after the game on how his team adjusted.
This team is so competitive. I know there was some talk of maybe canceling it at the time. The lighting was bad, the scoreboard was down, and our guys to a man were like, let's play. I don't care what it looks like. This is how it's like a pickup game to them. So they wanted to keep going, and it speaks to our team.
For San Lorenzo player Dart Tucker, it wasn't as unusual as it seemed.
Things like this happen all the time overseas, so it didn't affect that at all. So, you know, it was just a little glitch. Just get warmed up and keep playing.
ESPN personality Don Dakich also giving his take on the brief blackout.
Nobody panicked, nobody got up. Everybody just handled it, and it was an enjoyable experience, even though the power was out and people were expecting basketball. So every time I come here, and I came for the over Christmas, the tournament that they have, I've done that for ESPN. Everybody's awesome, and this is obviously a great place to be. So, hey, look, you get to cover basketball in August. Kentucky fans are great. The people here are great. It's a lot of fun.
Now, Kentucky assistant coach Tony Barbie says the team's performance last night was a far cry from Wednesday.
It's interesting that we haven't had a lot of practice time, and so we were a little sloppy the first game. And based off the tape work that we did this morning, because we didn't have any practice time, that the guys were able to take what we saw on tape that we didn't do well and put it into action on the court. And we executed, I thought, better tonight offensively and defensively.
Play resumes here at the Atlantis Imperial Arena on Saturday. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Summer of Thunder action also taking place at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are 2-0. Last night they destroyed the New Providence Basketball Association All-Stars 111-26. That's not a mistake, 111-26. As for their opener on Wednesday, they won big there as well, 119-61 over IBA Elite.
Really trying to find ourselves. We're young. We've got some freshmen and some new guys, but I love how we shared the ball tonight.
I think we played really well. It was great to finally get on the same side. I think we did a really good job of sharing the ball and playing good defense.
We just want to be a little bit better and know a little more about each other before we leave the island. We've usually been older, but now with this group, we're playing a lot of new faces. So this foreign tour and here is so important. We got to get our young guys older and tougher by November 1st.
I think the young guys are getting it. They're playing really well together. They're playing well with the older guys, and the more experience they get, the better this team is going to be.
To be over here and bond a little bit and play 3 games, great advantage for a young team.
I think we have the right pieces. Only time can tell. We just got to keep getting better every day.
We're not going to be thought of very highly in the preseason coaches poll. We may be picked 10th in the ACC, but you know, I think we've got a little chip on our shoulder, and we can fight our way into the top half of the league. And if you get in the top half of the ACC, you earn an NCAA bid.
Alabama State also 2-0 in Summer of Thunder action. They opened up with a 106-81 win over the Atlantis All-Stars on Wednesday and followed that up with a much closer 97-88 win over Star Sports last night.
It was a tough ball game, very tough ball game. This is why we wanted to come and play this time of the year. They have game simulation where you're playing on a tight ball game and you got to make good decisions with the basketball. And it was really, really good for our kids. I thought they stood up and played a tough ball game down the stretch.
Anything in particular that you would like your team to work on?
Defensively, we got to get better defensively. We got to play tougher, and I'm glad the game is being called away out and letting both teams play. So this should give us something to build on when we get back home.
Some top young basketball talent from the U.S. in town for the Blue Marlin Classic at the AF Adderley Gym. In action yesterday, Team Williams got a stiff test from the home-based Spartans, but the visitors would hold on for a 44-41 victory.
They played very hard. They boxed out on defense and offense, which is something that we needed to improve on as we continue to play these games in this tournament. And I think that they executed more and better on offense with the initial plays that we had set. They're from all different states in the U.S. We've got North Carolina, Chicago, we've got Houston, Texas. I mean, we're from all over the place. So we do a fantastic job of making sure that we can bring a lot of guys together and do something special for these kids in the States and be able to communicate with guys in the Bahamas. This group has just came together in a short time, and I'm proud of this group for being able to listen and follow directions and go through a great set of teams that we've been able to see this whole tournament. So it's been a pleasure to be able to play these guys, and I think that our guys have had a fantastic time as well, and so we hope to come back next year and compete against these guys again.
Coach Williams also spoke about the talent level here in the 242.
The local talent is fantastic here. I think that the guys have a lot of potential. You guys have done a fantastic job here in the Bahamas of raising some great players and talent. Buddy Hield is one of them. I've loved following him from a long time, and so I know that he started out in the tournament just like this, and now he's in the NBA making the big dollars. So it's nothing new that we see good talent here in the Bahamas.
2 games last night in the Republican Softball Association. In the men's feature, the Commando Security Truckers shutting out the Chances Mighty Mitts 11-0 behind winning pitcher Thomas Davis. As for the ladies opener, it was another early night for the Sunshine Auto Wildcats. They also put a bagel on the scoreboard, shutting out the Alive Strikers 23-0. This is the second win for the Cats this week, but they know there's still work to be done as they head towards the home stretch.
I'm not 100% proud of what we're doing right now, but I think we need to step it up a little bit, especially the intensity, because we're gonna have some tough teams to play against in the playoffs. So I think we need to prepare mentally and physically, and I think it's going to be a pretty good playoff. Everything starts with practice, so we just need to, we have pretty good practices, so we just need to continue with the intensity over there, and then we need to bring it over to the game. We're defending champions, but that's behind us now. We have a goal, which is to, win the season again this year. So we just got to continue to play good ball. It's going to be hard because we have a lot of good teams, great players. So, we're just going to continue to play together, continue to come with confidence, bring great intensity, and just continue to work as a team.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Food. It is as essential as air is to breathe and water is to drink. Food is life. But where does our food come from? The Bahamas has more than 2,000 farmers, but it's hardly enough to keep up with our growing population. Or is it? We traveled the nation to find out the answers to the questions everyone is asking. Can we feed ourselves?
The public is advised that for its convenience, the Passport Office Issuance Section only will be open for collection of passports on the following Saturdays during the month of August 2018 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th. Where applicable, members of the public are reminded to bring their receipts and passports at the time of collection. Please note that all third-party collections must be accompanied by a signed letter of authorization from the passport holder or guardian, relevant passport and receipt, and a valid government-issued identification, passport, driver's license, or NIB smart card of the person authorized to collect.
How much can the Bahamas cut its billion-dollar food import bill? What are we really producing to feed ourselves? What are the challenges facing food production in our country? How can you contribute to reducing our food import bill? Find the answers to these questions and much more. Watch Agriculture Now with Carla Palmer. Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
The Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale was developed in 1971 by civil engineer Herbert Saffir and meteorologist Robert Simpson, who was the director of the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was introduced to the public in 1973 and began to be widely used a year later. Inspired by the Richter scale that measures earthquakes, the Saffir-Simpson scale was divided into 5 categories. Originally, the Saffir-Simpson scale also included predicted barometric pressures associated with the various wind speeds, as well as the relative kinds of damage that could be anticipated. However, because those predictions were found to be very inaccurate, just a few years ago, the warning system was changed to include only the wind speeds, which were also adjusted upwards in the higher categories. A Category 1 hurricane has wind speeds between 74 and 95 miles per hour. A Category 2, 96 to 110 miles per hour. A Cat 3, 111 to 129 miles per hour. A Cat 4, 130 to 156 miles per hour, and a Category 5 hurricane will have winds from 157 miles per hour and up. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather in the tropics, we still have some strong upper-level winds, and that coupled with the African dust, which is spreading all the way into our area, and is also providing some hazy conditions around the 700 Islands as well, and that should continue for a couple more days as long as we have those dust particles in the atmosphere. There's also an area of showers and thunderstorms, a bit disorganized at this time, midway between Africa and the Les Antilles, showing no good signs of development, but our computer models indicate that by early next week, it could start to move into more favorable conditions for development, but that development is expected to be very slow. So we will watch that area over the next several days, and we will keep you posted. And then on the home front, we have a troughing across the northwest Bahamas, and that will provide some cloud cover in spots. Also 1 or 2 pockets of showers and isolated thunderstorms. The area is gradually moving towards the south and then eventually towards the east and over the open waters of the Atlantic. High pressure remains in control at the surface, and that will render some very light winds over the weekend, but the winds will start picking up late Sunday going into the early part of next week. So on Saturday, beautiful day for boating, so we advise that you take full advantage of that. Our forecast for the night calls for patchy clouds, still on the warm side, your low temperature getting down to 79 degrees, and tomorrow looking at mostly sunny and hot with the chance of a brief passing shower, with your high temperature getting up to 88 degrees. And for those of you who are planning outdoor activity, here's how your temperatures are going to start climbing during the early morning around 7 o'clock in the morning. The mercury column should be around 80 degrees, and there'll be that gradual climb right up to the peak, which should take place sometime around 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon at 88 degrees. And your 7-day forecast are looking like this. Pretty nice on Saturday, a couple showers on Sunday, drying out again on Monday, and that will continue right into the middle part of next week with an abundance of sunshine and those temperatures in the 90-degree mark. So Keisha, there you have it, your forecast for the next 7 days.
Thanks a lot, Basil. And just before we go, it's almost that time again for students to don those crisp new uniforms and head back to the classrooms for a new school year. Well, have you started your shopping yet, parents? Well, Jade Bethel took to the streets today to find out.
With back to school fast approaching, the uniform stores are being flooded with parents and children looking for the best deals for school supplies. Busy families are now taking to the streets of Nassau to make preparations for the upcoming school year. Clothing stores that carry an abundance in school uniforms, like Sandy's and Lorraine's, are ready for the back-to-school season.
Well, we have Sojera Cash, Courtney Francis, St. Thomas More, like I say, Kingsway, Temple Christian, NCA, QC, Uriah Maffey Primary Schools, and a couple other schools.
Well, for back to school, a few of our best sellers is the Dockers. You know, the kids love the Dockers pants. We sell Lee. The school shirts and urgent care shirts, top sellers.
Not only are parents doing the shopping, but there are also non-profit organizations who are taking the time out to provide children with brand new uniforms and school supplies who may not have the means to do so. One of them is Lend a Hand Bahamas.
We have some wonderful sponsors. This is our 4th year, and they're a residential group here with the American Women's Club, and they're actually what they call Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR. And 4 years now they have sponsored kids that we work with in the programs, and we bring them shopping to assist them with back to school. So
Jade Bethel, ZNS Network News.
All right. Can't believe how quickly the summer just breezed by, right?
It's just evaporated. It's back to school in a matter of weeks.
And the heat's still there, right? The heat's still there, and the traffic will be back, so good luck with that. That does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night, everyone.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too.